What's up, everybody? It's Workout Wednesday, and we're giving you a 20-minute workout in this video. It starts with a 7-minute warm-up, and each exercise is done for 30 seconds, and you just go back to back to back until you've completed 2 rounds of this warm-up. So I'll show you version A and version B in the video, and I will explain what the difference is for each. The circuit itself is only 3 exercises. You are working for 40 seconds at a time with a 20-second transition to the next thing, but you're going 3 rounds back to back to back. If you want more, I usually go up to 5 rounds sometimes, depending on what it is and how I'm feeling, but today's workout is only a less than 20-minute workout. So all I have for this workout is a MyZone or a heart rate monitor. So if you have a Fitbit or a Apple Watch or the MyZone, that is great. That's what I use to kind of gauge my effort. And if you're interested in the MyZone, just let me know and we can hook you up with that. But again, the exercises for the circuit, there's 3 of them. It's lunge jumps, army plank crawl, and reverse plank with a leg extension. So watch the video, I'll show you what we're doing and I'll kind of coach you through. And other than that, good luck and have some fun. Bye.
By the way, you might want to put some motivating music on in the background because this video has nada. I'm a trainer and not a video editor, so this is the best I can do for today. So we're starting with straight leg kicks. You're going to stay up nice and tall. You're basically in a standing plank, so don't round your back. You're getting a gentle hamstring stretch as you kick straight ahead. Make sure you're touching opposite hand to foot or opposite hand to leg, so you can stay as much in neutral as you can. Your hips are always forward and your shoulders are back. The next one is a walkout. Because we're stationary, you can technically do this as an inchworm moving across the floor or across the room. But basically, you're still in a standing plank. Use your hip hinge or a squat to come up and down in and out of the walkout. You're walking out to a perfect plank, so hands underneath the chest and shoulders, looking ahead at all times, and keeping your belly drawn in, and you're squeezing your glutes in your plank. The next one is a plank shoulder tap. So you're trying to maintain your perfect plank. Every time you lift your hand to touch your opposite shoulder, your body's going to want to shift over to the other side. So squeeze as much as you can. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your legs, squeeze your core. Pull the shoulders away from the ears and keep looking ahead. You don't want to round your neck or your spine. You're just doing as many as you can in the 30 seconds that you're here. The next one is going to be a lunge to twist. So you're starting from that plank position you were just in. You're stepping your foot all the way up and into the outside of your hand. And once you're there, you're reaching your opposite arm across, opening up like a side plank into a spinal twist. So lunge to twist. You're getting that little stretch on the inner thigh, hamstring, and your hip. And you want to extend as big as you can, opening your chest and shoulders out to the side like a side plank. The next one is side lunges, alternating each side. So you're doing this fairly quick because you're trying to get your heart rate up a little bit, get warmed up, but you still want to sit back enough. Your feet stay flat, your toes are forward, sit your butt back, and keep your chest up and open. So your spine is nice and straight, and you're getting that inner thigh and hamstring stretch on that straight leg every time you step out to the side. The next thing is body weight squats, keeping your heels about shoulder distance apart, add a little turnout to your toes so you can open up your hips and sink down a little bit lower. Your upper body's still in the standing plank, so shoulders all the way back, belly drawn in tight, and you want to keep pressing firmly through both feet. So you're not rocking forward to your toes and you're not rocking back to your heels. Keep the shoulder blades back and keep your lower core nice and strong. The next one is just jumping jacks, It's pretty basic, but if you haven't done it in a while, especially since grade school or high school or whatever, college sports, and it's been a while, this might be kind of hard. So just stay light on your toes. You're still in a standing plank, so belly drawn in tight, keep your chest up, relax your shoulders down. And this is the most basic jumping jack, and we'll stay with this one for the next few weeks. And I'll show you some variations to this on the next few workouts. The round 2, instead of straight leg kicks, you can always go back to straight leg kicks, but this one's a hip opener and closer. You can do this with a straight leg unless you lose your balance like I just did. Or you can bend your knee to about a 90-degree angle and do the same thing with a bent knee. You can also do this moving forward or across the room, but I like to do it stationary so I can work on my balance. Clearly something I need to work on more often. But yeah, you're opening your hips in and out. The next one is a modified burpee. So I am jumping back and forth because I still want to get my heart rate up and feel warm. You can step out and step forward if you want. You're basically just going into a plank, as perfect plank as you can get, and then to a full stand. So at the top, squeeze your butt, get your hips underneath you, and get nice and tall. The next one coming up is going to be a plank T extension. So in your perfect plank, again, every time you lift your arm off the ground, you want to maintain your balance, and you want to squeeze as much as you can into your plank so you're not shifting your body weight all the way over. You want to use your upper back and back of the shoulders to extend the arms directly out to your side into that T position. Obviously one arm at a time, otherwise you're going to fall on your face. So next we have the back lunge to rotation or twist. So it's very similar to the last version, only you're standing, obviously, and you're going to step back into your lunge position, making sure your knee does not pass your toes. You're staying up nice and tall, and you're reaching across, opening your chest and shoulders out to the side. So just make sure you're nice and controlled in both directions. Have a target to look at back behind you so you don't fall over. And then we can move into skaters. So instead of side lunges, if you want to get your heart rate up a little bit faster, a little bit more, have a little bit more intensity, you're jumping side to side instead of stepping side to side. So you want to land nice and soft. Again, shoulders back, belly drawn in tight, and you want to load your landing leg or hip every time you jump to the side. The next one is a squat jack. So you are spending a little bit more time landing slow and controlled into your squat with an explosive jump, quick in the center, and then right back into your squat. So you want to sit into your hips. Again, move your feet nice and controlled. So you're landing soft. And your shoulders are still back, belly drawn in tight, and you're really sitting into your hips every single time. Land soft. The last one again is jumping jacks. We're going to keep it the same jumping jack, very simple. Stay light on your toes again, belly drawn in tight, stay tall with your chest up and your shoulders down and relaxed. Even though you're bringing your arms over your head, you're never hunching in this position. So we're going to close off your warm up for 30 seconds in jumping jacks. And again, hopefully you're fully warmed up. Otherwise, play around with the intensity in the different version A and B for the next time you do this. For the circuit itself, you get to hear the little beep on the timer. We're going for 40 seconds of work with a 20-second transition into the next thing. So 3 rounds straight through. The first one is a lunge jump. I'm starting here, lunging or jumping between each side of the lunge. And at some point, I'm going to get tired because I'm sore from last couple days of workouts, so I'm going to switch it to a little bit of a variation of the lunge jump. Here we are. So we're jumping a little quick one in the middle and then landing soft and controlled into the lunge. So obviously this is going to be a little bit more plyometric, more dynamic. So if you need to modify down, you're just going to step forward and back into your lunges. So we have 20 seconds to get into the next thing. Here we're using those sliders, those moving sliders. You can find it like Walgreens or Target to help you move your furniture, but except we're moving our feet. You're going into a forearm plank, and I'm going from the very edge of the mat, extending the legs out, and I'm army crawling across as far as I can get until my feet actually bump into the mat. So that's why I have the cone there, so I don't have to look every single time. You want to try to maintain your plank as solid as you can as you're pushing back and as you're crawling forward. So squeeze your butt. My quads were sore on this one, so that's why I'm struggling a little bit, but keep your belly drawn in tight. And you want to try to still look ahead, look kind of at your hands or a little bit more ahead, and then drive your shoulders down and away from the ears as much as possible. So again, you're maintaining your solid plank You're scooting as many times as you can forward and back. You have your 20-second transition to catch your breath. Every time you have a transition time or a break, take deep inhales, slow exhales, and really try to control your heart rate, so deep breaths. The third thing we have on our list is the reverse plank. So all you're really doing is facing the other way. You're facing up. So once you get your plank up, you're basically doing a kind of variation of a floor bridge. So you're lifting your hips up by engaging your glutes and your hamstrings. When you're leaning into your shoulders like this, you want to push your hands down into the ground and elevate higher, so you're not sinking into your shoulders. So you're lifting your chest up, keeping your shoulders away from the ears. If you want to add your variation, the extension with the legs, keep your legs as straight as you possibly can, and you're just trying to point that leg up about 45 degrees to the top of the ceiling where the wall meets the ceiling. Then we have another 20-second transition. Again, nice deep breaths, deep inhales, slow exhales. Try to slow your heart rate down just a little bit so you can get ready for the next thing. We're going back into the lunge jumps. So I'm going to stick with the variation of the little quick jump in the middle. It's kind of like the squat jumps, except now you're lunging. So again, landing nice and soft, nice and controlled as you get into each lunge. What I'm going to try to do is land at 90 degrees for both legs every time I land into a lunge. So it's a little harder when you're jumping around for a long period of time. It's a little harder, when you're sore, when you're tired, but that's what we want to try to aim for. If you're starting to get tired or you can't jump anymore, go back to the back lunge, just stepping back into your lunge or stepping forward into the lunge, and that could be your variation. We have another 20-second break to get ready for the next thing. Every time you have a break, it's not really a full break. You just want to breathe nice and controlled and really just get your mindset to the next thing. Set yourself up into your plank, get your feet set up. If you don't have those sliders, it's totally fine. You keep your legs nice and straight, and all you're really doing is tiny, tiny little steps forward if you don't have those sliders. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more fun with the sliders because you're challenging your core just a little bit differently when you're doing your army crawl. Again, just kind of looking forward, looking ahead of your hands. Try not to look at your feet. They're going to be there, so don't have to check in every time. Keep your chest open. Drive your shoulders back and down away from your ears. And you're still squeezing your glutes, still squeezing your abs. And you're just staying as tight as you possibly can in those plank crawls. Another 20-second transition. Again, slow your heart rate down a little bit. Take some deep breaths. Get ready for the next thing. Think of your positioning. Think of how can I get the most out of this position and how to get the most out of this exercise. So extend the legs out, squeezing your glutes and hamstrings to hold your hips up. Lift your chest up tall, and you're pulling your shoulder blades down and away from the ears. So that's going to be a lot more supportive than sinking into your shoulder joint. Especially if you have shoulder discomfort, you can elevate yourself onto a bench and onto your forearms so you're lifting less weight. But in this basic reverse plank position, keeping your chest lifted and keeping your hips lifted is first, and then you could add your extension. So keeping the legs as straight as you can, and you're using your lower core to lift each leg one at a time. This is our third round coming up. I think in this, I had to reset the timer because it only goes 8 rounds total. You might be able to find an app that can time you for 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds rest. But here's the last set of the lunge jumps. And again, just staying as tall as you can, landing light on your feet and landing soft into each lunge. I'm trying to keep my heart rate elevated the entire time. So I'm trying to jump the entire time, but that means I have to pace myself in order to jump this much for a long period of time and multiple times in a row. So belly drawn in tight. Again, same thing, standing plank. So pull the shoulders down and away from the ears. Keep your chest lifted. And then the legs are moving nice and controlled in both directions. landing soft. So be nice on your joints, your knees, your ankles, your hips, and just land soft. Here's your next 20-second little transition break. Deep inhale, slow exhale. Position your plank or get ready to get into your plank. You're going to be in your forearms. Roll the shoulders down your back. Keep your chest open and keep looking ahead. So look at your hands or look ahead of your hands. So that way your neck and your head doesn't dip down and into your upper back and shoulders. Squeeze your glutes and pull that core tight in toward the spine so you can maintain your plank the entire time. So you're doing as many reps as you can, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. And this is the last round, so hopefully you can hold the rest of your plank. Obviously, I'm a little tired in this video, so maintain your plank as best you can for the remainder of the time. And then that way you can get your full rest at the beep. Last 20-second transition. Take your deep inhale, slow exhales. Get ready for the next plank variation. So roll the shoulders down out of the ears, belly drawn in tight. Use your glutes to lift your hips all the way up into your reverse plank. So you're getting that first, and then you can move into your extension using your lower core to lift and extend the leg all the way up and out. So I got this one from Pilates, so that's why I'm kind of pointing my toe. That's not totally necessary, but I would recommend perfecting your plank first, your regular plank, then your reverse plank, and then you can add whatever movement it is that you want to add to your plank. So shoulders all the way back, belly drawn in, using your glutes no matter what direction you're facing in your plank. You still want to perfect your plank first before any movement.